These days, it is almost impossible to protect youth from learning about mass shootings. Kids may struggle to cope with such senseless violence, so parents should provide a safe place for children to share their thoughts and feelings. Ashley Morin spoke with Sarah Shine, the Director of Youth and Family Services, to find out how parents can most effectively have these difficult conversations.
How are youth likely affected by news of the shooting?
At Youth and Family Services, we have definitely seen the impact of the shooting on the youth that we work with. We're seeing a lot of youth who are scared to go to school. It really challenges people's feelings of safety and assurance in a place that's supposed to be safe. And this is happening more and more in the United States. And what does that mean as a bigger picture? And so we're seeing just a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of sadness, and just a real concern for the communities that have been significantly impacted by incidents like this.
What advice do you have for parents on how to talk to their kids?
So by rule of thumb, we think that any school aged kid is old enough or might hear this information elsewhere, which I think is an important time for parents to start having the conversations with the kids. I think it's important to acknowledge your own feelings about it. I would say your initial reaction, maybe try to be away from your kids for that, because I think it can have a pretty significant impact. But acknowledge your feelings, that you're feeling sad or scared also. Um, I think that for younger kids, you really want to give them you don't need to go in a lot of detail. You can talk about the incident. You want to leave a space for all kids to be able to express their emotions around it. Ask them what they've heard about it and ask them how they feel about it. You want to give them just that space and opening to be able to process through what's happening. I think you also want to focus on the heroes of the story, so not just on the individual who did the action, but like the teachers that jumped in, the police who were there to save them, the ambulance drivers. And to acknowledge that school in general is still a safe place. So I think for younger kids, that's really important. For older kids, I think it's important to, resilience is built around action. So what action can you be taking as a child or as a family to help in situations like this? I think that can really be beneficial. And I think overall, keeping to your day-to-day routine is really important. And I think, this can cause some additional school anxiety, and you want to make sure that you're really pushing through for that normal routine. I think that's really important. And I would say in general, also keep an eye out for any significant changes in behavior. So you'll want to know if your child is experiencing some extraneous amount of stress around this, or really having a stronger reaction. You might want to talk to a therapist or your pediatrician about. So any real significant change in behavior is really important to note too. So just keeping those communication doors open and talking freely about it.
Do you have anything else to say to parents?
I think it's just also important for people to recognize that a tragedy like this impacts all of us. So of course we want to take care of our kids. Of course we want to keep lines of communication open, but also keep in mind how you're feeling about it and making sure you're taking care of yourself too, because that's really important. You can't take care of your kids unless you're also taking care of yourself. So just taking the time out to really process through these incidents, and making sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. And of course, all of our thoughts go out to the families that were directly impacted by this horrific tragedy.